Hello, everyone. It's been a little while since I've been connecting with you. I have been away for a week. I went over to Dallas, Fort Worth to go to an Asea convention. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've learned, what I've been up to, what I've been following and what I haven't been following whilst I've been away. And most importantly, connecting with you all and see how everyone's doing. So let me start. I am thinking of doing more lives because it allows me to connect in with you. I'm just going to serve myself up my lovely mood sachet just when I do this, because it's been a long couple of weeks and these are amazing. Just simply pour it into your water, mix and stir, beautiful adaptogen herbs. So I want to do more lives with you because I want to get the interaction. I used to do a lot of lives and then I got out of the habit of them because when YouTube changed the way it puts the lives on the site, a lot of people were having trouble finding them. But let me know in the comments below whether you fancy more lives. I'm feeling like I want to connect more with people, interact real time. I know time zones don't always work out, so you can watch the recordings, but let me know whether you want to do that or not. Well, does it not matter to you? But I love that connection. I love seeing people's comments real time and being able to answer questions. So let me start by telling you about my trip to the States. Started off with flying. We had a direct flight from UK to Dallas Fort Worth. Had a brilliant traveling companion, my friend Julie, and I was very grateful to not be traveling alone. Because we get there, Heathrow Airport, chaos, absolute chaos. And then no announcements about our flights. We're getting suspicious because well over the time it should have been departing, still no announcements, just wait for information. And then they cancel our flight. Now, this flight was a great big, I'm not very good on planes, but it was like an Airbus. It was a double-decker flight. It was huge and it was packed, nearly 500 people on board. And they cancelled it like hours after it should have gone. And then it was complete chaos trying to get information through to passengers about what happens next. Now, for us, it wasn't so bad because we didn't have connecting flights. But of course, lots of people then miss their connecting flights. You might think flights get cancelled all the time, but on speaking to people there, this was the third day in a row that a long-haul flight had been cancelled from BA. And then coming back 5 or 6 days later, my son was flying back from Austin, Texas, and his BA flight was cancelled as well, and they got diverted all around New York. So all I can say is what I like to call them, my friend Tamara was saying that she was hearing someone, instead of calling them the white hats and the black hats, the white hearts, because it's from a heart space. A hat implies you put on an act, really. You put on an outfit. A heart is inherently who you are. So I like to call them the black hearts. Do I honestly believe they're trying to make travel difficult for all of us? Yes. They're doing a bloody good job about it. And this is why they say evil genius. I shouldn't swear so early in the video because of the algorithms, but I'll try and keep it clean. Evil geniuses, you can see the plans. This is the issue, is those of us that are starting to have our veil of consciousness lifted and see things from different perspectives, which will keep changing. I mean, I've learned so many new things this last week. But once you start seeing through the veil, you see all the bits of the jigsaw puzzle coming together. So all I can say for any of you flying, you might be better off going on your dragon or unicorn, because there's definitely an agenda at play here of trying to make it unpleasant. But when I got there, what a week I've had. We talk a lot about connecting in real life, and everything I do with Asea, with the products I do, with my animal communication, with the work that I do either as coaching packages or individuals with clients, with my family, let's face it, life is about the connections we make, about the relationships we make. And I have made really deep connections with some amazing people that I spent the last week with. Really, it wasn't a whole week, but it seems like a long while. Really getting to connect and know people and understanding the world through their perspective, because it's so beautiful to see where those common threads interlink and where our goals and our aspirations for what we want this world to be like, both for ourselves and our families, but for the greater whole, all creatures great and small. But also the different challenges. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's really difficult to get any healthy food in Texas. Now, perhaps we were in the wrong place, but you know, it really gave me so much gratitude for what I've got here, for being in the countryside, for being out in nature, and for access at the moment to the food that I've got and all the food that I'm currently learning how to grow, because each and every one of us is in a completely different starting point situation. And I think having empathy for that, having understanding, that's one of the beauties of travels, is you can get very isolated in your own little world and think, well, hang on a minute, that's not how I see things. But when you step out of that world and see the bigger picture, then a lot of the problems that other people are experiencing come really to light. And it certainly makes me a lot more empathetic to what people are going through. But I had the best time because I'm a science geek. I love looking at science and what I call real science, not the science they're trying to shove down our throats now, which is basically believe me, nothing else, question nothing. That's not science at all. To me, science is all about questioning, exploring our consciousness, expanding our awareness. And there were some brilliant, brilliant scientists there. Absolutely fantastic. For those of you that haven't seen my interview with Caroline Hoffman, Dr. Caroline Hoffman and Dr. David Silverman, they're all on my Asea playlist. Go and watch them because those two are absolutely amazing. But all the science team that I met were, because what really made me so happy from the heart was to see how much good is being done in the world, how people really care, and how people really understand the solutions that are thrown at all of us, you know, whether it's the air, whether it's the water, whether it's the food, whether it's the stress, whether it's the EMFs, you name it, whether it's the interventions, whether it's pharmaceutical chemicals that are being used inappropriately, because all of these things can be used for the good. Well, not all of them. I don't think there's anything that glyphosate can be used for the good. Well, I know there isn't. But some of these things, you know, medical interventions, pharmaceuticals can literally save lives when they're used appropriately. But in my book, they should be a last port of call, or something that's used whilst the person is helped to make the lifestyle changes that put the root cause of the problem right. So I have come back with such renewed energy, enthusiasm. I can't believe I've had virtually no sleep over the last week. I mean, we missed 2 nights sleep anyway with the travel shenanigans. And then the conference was full on, which was absolutely brilliant. We had breakfast meetings, met some amazing people, must connecting with my friends from Singapore. What an amazing group they were. Beautiful, beautiful people. And then Julie and I, we were on our time clock, so we were excited. We were up talking from 3 o'clock every morning and preparing and going over stuff. So that was really good fun. But I've never felt more energy. I feel the energy sustained from a cellular level, from an internal level. It's not coming from external, it's coming from within. And that shared vibration that all of us that were there, either in person or virtually. And I don't want anyone to feel that they're missing out. This is wherever you connect with like-minded people, please, please do. Because the one thing that I think is so important for all of us, we're all surrounded by a lot of negativity, whether it's negativity of the poisons in our environment, from the geoengineering, from the water quality, I'm going to come on to that in a minute, from the food, from toxic people who are very miserable themselves and want to offload that energy onto you, or whether there's no nefarious means. It's very easy to be surrounded by inputs from all these different areas that pull our vibration down. Now, how do you want to talk it? We are moving balls of energy. If you put us under a microscope, we're not solid. We've got space in between, and it's all about that kinetic energy. And this is what the products I work with do. They work at a cellular level to restore that energy, which then is like a cascading, beautiful diffusion effect that works through you and around you. So what you find is those people that you're interacting with that are really doing this self-work, and that can take so many different forms. There is no one size fits all, but there's lots of tools that can help us. That energy keeps you at that high vibration, and that's so important. And this is what I'm aiming to do for my channel. So I'm really open to suggestions for what I can do to help all of you amazing listeners. And, you know, I count you as, I really do, my global family, because together we've got that energy exchange. Anyone that's kind enough to watch, to hit the like button, anyone that can take the effort to make a comment, to share, we're having that energy exchange. And it's so, so important at this time, never before, because we really are on the cusp of greatness. I know it, but we have to not let our guard down. We've seen some of the devastating world events. In that, for those of you that are in the UK, are following any of the UK, we have had scandal after scandal after scandal coming out on our media, on trying to block people. For those of you that haven't seen my discussion I did with Tamara, where we discussed some of the Russell Brand shenanigans, you know, they're trying to ban Rumble in the UK now. It's full on. And if we let our energy fall, we can't repel it. We've all heard the saying that darkness can't exist when you shine the light. And all of us collectively that are watching programs like this, doing all the work, I've met so many people over the last week that are doing such diverse and amazing work all over the globe. It really, really restored my faith in humanity more than I can imagine. So I've got a couple of things for you. For those of you that want help, I will put the link below. I have opened up a slot for consults because I've had lots of people trying to connect in with me and I needed to get them organized. So for the time being, whilst I can, I'm offering a free 15 minutes consult to anyone that's serious about upgrading their health to the next level. Why? Because I've been working in this area for humans and animals for well over 20 years, aging myself here, well over. And I know I've got so many tools in my toolkit about how to get you started. Often the most difficult step is one, getting you started, and two, maintaining those healthy habits. So those calls are only open. I'll put the link below. You go to my CatherineEdwards.live website, you go to the consults tab, and you'll see there's a paid consult, but there's a free 15-minute, let's get started, you know, discovery call. But those calls are only for people that are ready to take action. I have to filter out. They're not just to talk through issues. They're for people to say, I've got this challenge, or my animal's got this challenge, or my family member's got this challenge. I am serious now about changing my life. Get on one of these calls. I can really help you. And together we can work through this ongoing. If anyone wants to join my team with any of the products I work on, we are on fire, because the theme of the conference, the Asea convention, was we. And it can sound a cliche, it can sound cheesy, but it's not, because we are a social species, humans, and the dark hearts, the black hearts, have done everything within their power to break that social bond. But when we work together, we are so strong, we're so powerful, changing one life at a time, whether that is health, whether it's being part of an amazing community, whether it's taking back control of your finances. This company does all of it. So again, there's a link below if you want to discuss that in a strategy call to see whether it's a fit for you or not. I'm not into, sorry, my hair has grown so much, so it's so annoying when people fiddle with their hair, but it's grown so much, I must go and get it shorn. So if you want to upgrade your life and work with a really upbeat group of people, or if you just want to upgrade your health and really get started, connect in with me. I promise you I can help. And the one thing I'll never be is pushy. You know, I work with people, I meet them where they're at, and, you know, we all do things at our own time, at the right time and place for us. So if you're called to do that. Now, the other thing I'm really excited, and you're going to hear lots more about this over the next 2 weeks. I have had so many people contact me over the last year asking for help in terms of really getting themselves upgraded up to the next level. So if you are a holistic or wellness vet, doctor, therapist, healer, anyone that works in any natural modality for humans or animals, I've got a program that I'm launching in a couple of weeks' time. And this is going to be something that I have never seen anyone else offer, but it's going to be achievable for people, because We've all heard of these amazing suppressed technologies. We know there's free energy. We know we can access free water. We know that we can all heal ourselves, but sometimes it can be really difficult to sustain that or divert the energy. We know that there's med beds of sorts that are coming, and all these amazing healing technologies are coming out. But there is already, and I'm talking to those of you that have got any sort of healing, wellness, coaching, holistic therapies in whatever area it might be for you, you know, releasing emotional blocks, Reiki healers, anything where people want to really showcase their gifts to the world, to get clear on what they can do for people and get their message out there. Watch this space is coming, because I interact on a daily basis across the globe with so many people. Each of you has got such a gift, and people need your gift now. We haven't got time to wait for the med beds. People are suffering now. We haven't got time to have you amazing healers, holistic therapists, coaches to be hiding your gifts. People need your gifts now. Imagine the world, and don't shoot the messenger here, but we live in a world at the moment, we know it's changing, but we don't know how quickly, where we all need money to get by. Imagine if the people controlling the money were you, were the healers, were the people that are playing it forward, that are healing the planet, healing the people, healing the animals, healing the plants, healing our food supply, healing the water. This is where we need the wealth. And I am on a mission with a couple of friends to get that wealth into your hands so that we can do the good. We don't need to wait for the humanitarian projects to be rolled out. You are the humanitarian project, and we're going to get you out there so that you can start helping this cascade, this domino effect. Every single person you help, that person will change their vibration, which will help the people around them. It's a win-win-win situation. So if that resonates with you, watch my space, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my newsletter, watch my Instagram and my TikTok and my Facebook, because you want to be on this. And it's going to start with a very limited group, because I want to make sure that I can support all those people really positively. On to the next session, water. I've got so many people that have been asking me about the water quality. Now, I happen to have had many careers in many different industries, and I in one of my past lives as an environmental water, studied extensively and did a master's in groundwater chemistry. Now, this was 25 years ago, and 25 years ago, I stopped drinking the tap water for a very good reason. We are made up of, depending whether you're looking at it by volume or by mass, between 70 and 99% water. For those of you that are familiar with Dr. Emoto's work on the energy signatures of the water, about how every vibration, whether it's toxins, whether it's stress, whether it's harsh words, whether it's EMF, whether it's chemicals being sprayed just from the sky, all of these affect the structure, the crystalline structure of the water, which then affects us at a cellular level. So it's no accident that a lot of the stuff that I really work with, like the Asea, are looking at the cellular level, getting that energy right at the cellular level. Getting good quality water is amazing. I've got interviews, I'll link it below, to the Zest water, or if not, search Zest water on my YouTube channel. The amazing Richard Harland is the person who's been spreading it. But I've had now feedback from lots of people that have had these installed. I've had them installed both for my humans and for my animals. And I can tell you, my horses are drinking double the amount of water they were before I had that Zest installed. These are the companies that are providing us with safe, sustainable solutions that are good for us and good for the planet. And when I talk I'm good for the planet, I am not talking global warming. So please don't think I'm going down that avenue. What I'm talking about is we need to be better stewards for ourselves. We need to be better stewards for our animals, and we need to be better stewards from the environment. And if doing something for us causes a problem downstream to the animal kingdom, to the plants, to the earth, to the soil, to the water courses, then that's no good in my book. So if you want to find out more about these, are affordable. They're less than $1 a day to get all your water, your showering, your bath water, your cooking water, your drinking water. For me, the water that I'm watering all my fruit and vegetables that I'm growing. The water that I'm giving to my animals, so important. So if you need any information, my contact details are also always below. You shouldn't have any problem finding a way to contact me. So please, please do, because my passion is sharing these solutions. One of the things, again, I heard at the conference, I've never seen so many grown men really share from the heart and cry. We're quite used to often the women do it, but the men are amazing. And one of my favorite people in the Asea company is a chap called Chuck Funky. Now, you won't know of him unless you're involved in Asea, but he's moving on to pasture to a different stage of his life where he's freeing up some time. He's still involved in Asea. But Tyler Norton, the founder, I just want to read this to you all, because this was some lessons that he's learned over the years from working with the most amazing Chuck. And I've only known him for less than a year, Chuck, and I would vouch for each and every one of those. And when I want to, the reason I'm sharing this is we've all got great friends in our lives. We've all got people that we interact with that we can take some really good lessons from. So this is Tyler Norton, the founder of Asea, sharing his 6 life lessons that he's learned from Charles Frederick Funky II. Number 1, talk less, ask questions, listen more. I think I've got some work to do there. But no, in all seriousness, one of the beauties of me having hearing aids is when I'm connecting in one-on-one, it's more difficult to do it when I'm talking to a computer screen. I have to really listen very carefully because otherwise I can't hear. So sometimes a disability can be a real gift. But talk less, ask questions, listen more. When we're interacting in society with people that might have different points of view of us, how often do we learn how to ask really good questions to really try and understand where they're coming from? Can you imagine the difference in the quality of communication that could happen if we did that? So I love that one. Eat last and leave last. Now, this is in group situations. You will never see Chuck be the first one up to the group buffet. He always looks out for other people first. He always makes sure no one's left on their own. You know, again, looking around in our local communities, who needs that extra support? Whether it's a fox at the end of your garden or a neighbour that's lonely, how can we be more aware in these social situations to make sure that we're being inclusive in the right sense of the word, that we're really trying to make sure that everyone is okay? Be slow to judge or overreact. This is such a biggie for this community. It's so easy for us online now to judge, and it's so easy to not realize that everyone is going through something that we possibly know nothing about, and most of the time know nothing about. And when we judge, there is no way about it that says more about where we're coming from. When you see really people that have really done the inner work, they're the least judgmental people I know. And obviously, this is where we're going to have good days and we're going to have bad days. And this is where having a really good set of friends that can help keep you accountable really helps. And whether those friends are global or local, it does not matter. But connecting with people that are a good enough friend to tell you when you're stepping into judgments or overreact, because how we conduct ourselves is sending a ripple energetically out to every single being, creature, plant, breath of air that we're interacting with. So let's be that community where we are slow to judge. Bearing in mind that not judging doesn't mean you let your boundaries back, doesn't mean that you accept unacceptable behavior. It doesn't mean that we don't seek justice and that we do the right thing and want other people to. But just be careful of that. Number 4, practice empathy, especially with those who are less noticed. Wow, the last couple of years, I've seen more people who have started off generally, I think, wanting to do the right thing and getting very caught in the fame trap. It's been shocking to witness, quite honestly. And those that talk about it the most are often the more guilty. So you've got people that are sitting there saying, I'm not after fame, I'm not after fortune. Be wary, because where their attention is normally what they're trying to hide. For those, it's the quiet ones. It's the people that are sitting there in the background doing the most and not shouting about it. I was in Asea for sort of a good 3 months before I realised about their Advancing Life Foundation and how much they do for causes in areas of the world where they do not sell products. There's no ulterior motive behind what they do. Everyone who purchases from Asea can donate to that foundation. And the company not only match our donations dollar for dollar, but the company also take all the operating expenses. We all know how corrupt a lot of charities are. It's been one of the most devastating things I think a lot of us have had to deal with, that, you know, places where we've been donating money for years, perhaps now turning out to be very nefarious, but this is not one of them. And that's so important. I love this one. And I think it's a good life lesson for everyone, particularly in a world now where everyone's so easily offended, is take your work seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. It's so, so important. And I honestly think that's been one of my biggest successes. I'm going to pat myself on the head for that over the last couple of years, is I really don't take myself too seriously, but I take my passions really seriously. And there's a difference. And the last one, which I think is absolutely beautiful, and without a doubt, in my opinion, there's been a huge agenda to turn away from, is keep family first. Now, what family means to you will be different for all of us, whether it's your blood relatives, whether it's your four-legged, scaled or winged friends, whether it's your global family, whatever that means for you, keep family first. But if you look at any successful species, none of us can survive on our own and thrive. You know, there's a big difference between surviving and thriving. And I do always take it back to my football team analogy, where, you know, you need to be a successful team or to be a successful community. You need so many different roles to be fulfilled, and equally all of them as valuable. So if you've got a football team, or for those of you in America, a soccer team, if you've got a team full of strikers and there's no defenders or wingers or midfield or goalkeeper, it's useless, because the other team are going to score more goals than you than win. You know, you need all of those roles. And sometimes it's only the strikers that get the accolades. And how often do we see that in life? But it's those defenders, it's the wingers, it's the tight midfield, is that goalie. All of those roles are equally as important. They're just not all necessarily recognized in the same way. And I think that's a really good lesson for us for life. Whatever we're doing, some of us are choosing to come on public platforms and speak. That makes us no difference to what we're achieving, to what you're doing in your life and your community. But people need to know about it. There's no point having these gifts, and you have all got gifts, every single person, if you don't share them. And how you choose to share them will be very different and individual for each and every one of you. But I really feel we're at a turning point now where understanding the human dimension, so much has been done by the Black Hearts to try and take away that human connection. That human connection, if we get that right, we have connection back to nature and all living things, plant, animal, mineral. And it's that circle of life that goes round, and that awareness that we are one part of this energetic picture that we call life. And if we want to have the best lives for ourselves and our loved ones, and we want to stop these atrocities going on, one, it takes individual action. We have to take action. What that action is will be different for all of us, but we can't sit back and wait for other people to do it. We need to stop waiting. When this happens, I'll be happy. Anyone who's done any sort of self-development, spiritual development, opening up their consciousness, whatever you want to call it for you, the message is consistent. If you're going to wait to see the results before you shift your energetic state, you're onto a losing battle. So surround yourself with people that are going to help you shift that consciousness, and most importantly, maintain it. And have empathy and kindness, and judge less, because we are all very much only restricted by the lens that we are currently seeing life through. And that will change dramatically as we learn and evolve more. So just realize that everyone is where they are for a reason. And if we've come into interacting with them in whatever shape or form that is, then there's something that we can have that mutual two-way contribution and each learn from each other. So, call to action, please let me know in the comments box below. What are you doing? What's your gift in the world? How are you sharing it? And just whatever it is, every single person's got one. Let me know whether you'd like to have sort of more interactions with lives or any suggestions for that. And as always, I love suggestions for topics, for guests, because the only reason I've got this channel is to have a community of like-minded people that are literally changing their lives and the world around us. So the only point of me doing that, I've got to do things that resonate with all of you. So please do let me know. Thank you so much for listening. I've come back a changed person from my week with the most amazing company and the most amazing people. And I do not say that lightly. I'm not easily convinced. I'm not a let's get caught up in the excitement of the occasion person at all. For anyone who knows me, they'll know that's true. But this is the real deal. These people are the real deal. I have not been around for a long while. So many people that are taking responsibility for changing their lives and those around them. And that is a beautiful thing to see. So thank you for everyone I've met. You are much appreciated. Lots of love to you all. I'll be back soon. I didn't get around to covering the guests coming, but I'll cover that next time. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And if you feel inspired, please do share with your friends and family. My goal is to inspire as many people as I can to live their best lives, to stay curious and to raise their consciousness and that of the collective. So to do this, I need to reach as many people as possible, and this needs your help. If you feel drawn, would you be willing to share your favourite episode with 5 different people? This helps us spread the word and also helps me encourage some exciting new guests to take part in this podcast. If you feel drawn to do that, I will be very, very grateful. All the links and discount codes where applicable for all the products that I support are on my 2 websites, catherineedwards.life and catherineedwardsacademy.com. All of the products are personally tried and tested by me, my family and my clients. And finally, please do press the follow or subscribe button, depending which platform you're listening on. And above all, stay curious and stay free.